The Nissan Ariya is kind of a different EV. I'm Tom Voelk for the Seattle International Auto Show, and I'm here to tell you all about it. Range, charging speed, cargo, and how much room there is.
Nissan's Leaf was a breakthrough in 2010, the first mainstream electric vehicle and a bestseller for years. Ariya is significantly different. It's upmarket. No more CHAdeMO connector. The battery pack is liquid-cooled and all-wheel drive is available.
Pricing starts at $41,000 with destination for a base Engage version with the 63 kilowatt-hour battery. Nissan has dropped off a top trim Platinum Plus with the larger 87 kilowatt-hour pack. It's got all-wheel drive and is stuffed with luxury features. It's stickers for $56,900. Ariya is built in Japan, so it does not qualify for Uncle Sam's $7,500 tax credit. If you're buying, maybe consider leasing. Also, check with your state to see what incentives it might be offering.
Single-motor Ariyas are front-drive and make either 214 or 238 horsepower. With the larger battery, that's what the Plus stands for. Dual-motor E-Force versions generate 389 horses and 442 pound-feet of torque. The smaller pack is a little less powerful.
What do you think, frunk or no frunk? No frunk. Typically, engineers have to decide whether to offer storage in the front or package all the powertrain components in the nose and keep the interior nice and airy without a big spine running down the middle.
Power-up is traditional and soothing. This shows much more information while driving. It's hard to shoot while on the road. The transmission selector is straightforward. Pull back twice to get additional recuperation drag. There's also the E-pedal setting, though I find I need to use the physical brakes for a complete stop. Drive modes are what you'd expect. I used standard for range testing, which is an EPA-rated 267 miles for this Ariya with 19-inch wheels. Front drive models are as high as 304. The max DC fast charge rate is 130 kilowatts. That's almost half what Hyundai and Kia EG&P vehicles offer. Plug in before dinner and Home Level 2 should fill an empty pack after a good night's sleep. Enter a route in the Navi system and it will find charging stations along the way. I road tripped Ariya. It works.
If you're thinking about buying the single-motor Ariya, know that it'll spool up to 60 miles an hour in just over 7 seconds. Speed racer, you're going to want this dual-motor setup because it'll do that dash in 5 seconds flat. And of course, being an EV, it feels punchier than that. This doesn't really have any performance tones other than when you're in sport mode. It's kind of subtle, not sure you can hear that.
On this sloppy day, the extra grip of dual motors is welcomed. It's something that Leaf never had. The E-Force all-wheel drive system changes the torque split front to rear, plus modifies the power delivery and the regen of both motors. This and brake torque vectoring adds stability in corners, plus counters dive and squat dynamics to subtly smooth body motions. Nissan claims it can reduce motion sickness.
The E-Force system is always working in the background. It can't be turned off, but you know, do you want your kid to get car sick? I don't think so.
Electric vehicles don't produce the noise and vibration of gas-powered cars, but some EVs let road noise through. Ariya is luxury car hushed.
Automotive writers tend to be biased towards edgier, sporty driving dynamics. Guilty. Mainstream buyers, not as much, and they will probably enjoy the comfort of the Ariya. It soaks up bumps nicely, takes on sharp edges really well. You don't feel them all that much. It's very supple. Yeah, if you throw it hard into a corner, there is going to be some body roll, but overall, it doesn't feel like you're driving a waterbed.
Ariya is stuffed with ADAS tech like automatic emergency braking, front and rear, plus adaptive cruise. The Platinum has an auto park function.
The EPA rates the range of this particular Ariya at 267 miles. I drove at 250, still had 20 left, so yeah, it pretty much nails the range. But conditions were pretty much ideal. Half were in the city, half was highway driving at 60, 65 miles an hour, and temperatures in the mid-70s.
Let's dive into the cabin space, which is unique, EV or ICE. Dig the Japanese vibe in the backlit panels. Upgrading to Platinum is necessary to get heated and vented leather seats with Zen Garden looks and suede materials that eliminates glare. I feel the Evolve trim at $6,000 less is the Ariya sweet spot. It still delivers this and the terrific view of the sky. Even better is this table of sorts, which is great for fast food when sitting still. Kind of wish all vehicles had a similar setup. The cord wrap is a clever touch. Style points for the strafe of wood that reveals haptic controls on power-up. They have decent touch sensitivity. Nissan adds a jaunty jog to the dual 12.3-inch displays. The gauge section is configurable. The infotainment section is too. Tiles can be dragged and dropped to customize the experience. Response is solid. There's voice command too. Unlike Equinox EV and Model Y, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are a thing, and wireless.
For scale, I'm 5'9". As far as headroom goes, Ariya has a good amount. I have the seat set for an optimal driving position. Knee and legroom are generous. Footroom, that's a little tight. Cushions are high enough for good thigh support, and the door openings are big enough so that if you're often loading car seats in and out, that should be no problem. Pockets in the doors, pockets on both seat backs. Thank you, Nissan. There is no separate climate zone back here, but there are adjustable vents, heated seats for the outboard positions, and USB ports to charge phones. Like the front, the floor back here is board flat. That helps with footroom. Ariya is fairly spacious. 3 average-sized adults will be just fine for short trips across town.
There's a wee bit of storage under the load floor and a tire repair kit. No spare. The charge cord is good for 120 and 240 current. In everyday use, the cargo hold takes on 23 cubic feet. Ariya is about the same size as a Toyota RAV4, and dropping the seat backs opens up a solid 60 cubic feet of storage space. It took time for Nissan to deliver significant numbers of Ariya to U.S. showrooms. Now it needs to get the word out. The distinctive design, inside and out, will grab some buyers, so will the polished ride comfort. It's an EV that will appeal to many. Now, wondering about range when road tripping? I'll check out my second video, where my wife and I go camping in eastern Washington, or maybe just head on down to your Nissan showroom for a test drive. It's worth it. For the Seattle International Auto Show, I'm Tom Voelk.